The TWAB, the Twid, whatever you want to call it, Bungie's newest article has recently dropped, and we're going to go through everything. We got the new Witherhoard ornament, as you can see above me here. We have a fishing competition, and Bungie goes through their exact process of how they buff and nerf things in the game, give us a bit of transparency. So let's go ahead and dive into all of this right here, right now. So this week in Destiny, we're going to scroll through the initial part because it's just a brief overview of last week, and then we have Get Those Sevens Ready. It's Bungie Day, if you don't know. July 7th is Bungie Day. They love the number 7, so they have their giving festival. It's a charity and everything, and we're supporting that as well. So far we've raised almost 300, so it's pretty cool. We're gonna try to raise as much as we can. It's for a good cause. And they have a bunch of prizes and stuff that they give out, emblems, shaders, you name it. There's a bunch of different things, and along with that you can actually give your hashtag emblematic emblem contest if you want to as well. And along with this, their Bungie Day celebration this year, they're doing a fishing contest, fishing derby. If you want to enter into this, what you're gonna have to do is try to catch as many fish as you can within 1 hour, and the higher tier of the fish, the more points you get. Obviously there's going to be a lot of RNG to this, so I don't know how epic of a competition this is going to be. This is what Bungie is doing, and if you win this, you got the Heartfell Shell Ghost Exotic Ghost rather. Then we've got Blue Blood Cells, this year's Bungie Day Giving Festival emblem, Helium Hearts. There we go. There's a variety of different prizes you can get. So here's the points. Junk is 0 points, uncommon 1 point, rare 2 points, legendary 5 points, and if you catch an exotic fish, you're gonna get 20 points. So best of luck to you out there if you're going to enter in that competition, and obviously there's going to be a good amount of RNG to that. So next up, they have the Bungie store, and they have a variety of different sales that they're doing in the Bungie store. You can get some different Bungie Day themed emblems and stuff like that. So yeah, check out the Bungie store obviously throughout this entire week, and you can probably get some cool stuff in there. Follow the Bungie store on Twitter as well, and they're bringing back the G horn for a little bit. If you didn't get that nerf gal horn, the option is there for you, and it should be on sale now and be a little bit cheaper than it was before. Then we have the cutscene we're talking about, Sloan dropping those knowledge bombs in perfect cutscene form, where they go through the cutscene that happened this last week. It was pretty good. We've already covered all of that stuff in the previous video though. We're gonna move on to the next part. We've got your mid-season weapons preview update here. If you haven't seen my last video, the link to that will be in the pinned comment of this video. And basically they're doing a huge update, overhaul to a variety of different PvP weapons and stuff. And it's just the mid-season patch. Obviously there's gonna be even crazier changes in season 22 when they try to take bigger sweeping changes, but there are some pretty sizable and noticeable changes coming in this mid-season patch, especially nerfs to Graviton Lance has been overperforming for quite some time now. So they go through all of that, and we've already covered it, so we're not going to read through everything, but what we are going to cover is this new part here, which is where they talk about how they go through the process of nerfing and buffing things. We've talked about this before, but we thought this would be a good opportunity to dive a little deeper into the metrics we use when we balance the weapon sandbox. As mentioned previously, we use a mix of personal experience, playtest feedback, community feedback, sentiment, and usage and effectiveness when we decide how we handle a weapon that is over or underperforming. The first handful of these are self-explanatory, but we have never really gone in depth as to how we define a weapon's performance in the Crucible. As far as the data goes, we have 5 main things we look at to answer those specific questions. Now, a lot of people have criticized Bungie in the past, saying that they just do it all on usage rate. Obviously, there's a lot more nuance than that. It's not entirely on usage rate, but it is their first criteria that they put here. Usage, what percent of total time in Crucible games do players have this weapon equipped? So for example, Graviton Lance that's being put on the chopping block right now, a lot of people have this equipped for a high period of time when they're playing in Crucible. Second one is kills, what percentage of weapon kills in Crucible come from this weapon? So that is based on like what we saw with the Trials data, where it's the #1 weapon in terms of kills across the board. No other weapon has as many kills as Graviton Lance last weekend in Trials. And then we have win rate. Do players who have this weapon equipped win their games at a higher rate than players with other weapons equipped? And then they can compare the data. Well, do 3 people with Graviton Lance consistently beat 3 people that have a different pulse rifle or a different hand cannon or a different weapon? But overall, can we see it? Do they have a higher win rate because of it? This is obviously going to be a bit nuanced and be a bit tough to calculate to some degree, but obviously they try to add all of this stuff into their sort of algorithm they create for how to balance certain weapons in the game. Then we have kills per minute. How many kills do players with this weapon equipped get in a minute of game time compared to others? That's an interesting metric as well. Lastly, we have kills over expected. Given all the above data and filtering for things like player skill, game mode, subclass, ammo type, data range, controller input method, weapon slot, etc., is a specific weapon or a type of weapon getting more or fewer kills than would be expected? So that's kind of their main criteria. While we look at everything listed above, we focus most heavily on kills over expected. So it's KOE is the system that they use. It's kills over expected, which blends the data into a single easily understood percentage value. Low usage weapons can have highly variable KOEs, but as usage increases and more of the given population slice utilizes a weapon, we want to see KOE normalize. Below you can see a chart of our kills over expected metrics for the last month for primary weapons in high skill PvP lobbies across the platforms with all input types. As you move towards the right side of the chart, usage time increases. We want to see weapons get closer to 0%. So the chart they're talking about right here, and I'll bring it up, is this right here, up on the screen so you can see what we're talking about. We want to see weapons get closer to the 0% KOE level on the y-axis, which means they are performing as expected. You can see that the Messenger Adept, No Time to Explain, Graviton Lance, and the Immortal Adept are currently slightly elevated above where we'd like them to be for their current usage levels compared to the weapons further to the left, and so taking a pass at what may be allowing them to outperform their peers. Aim assist range, target lock, etc. As an example, in Season 19, Dead Man's Tale was at 60% KOE with 4.5% usage, leading us to the issue a hotfix to bring it more in line with expectations. As a note, KOE is not a one-size-fits-all metric. Certain weapons in particular support weapons, or weapons like Le Monarch must be evaluated separately as their effectiveness is not tied to their ability to kill guardians directly, which would be something like Fighting Lion, like doesn't always directly kill guardians but can weaken them and stuff. So that's what we're talking about with Monarch there. We hope this has been an interesting and educational insight into how we work on weapon balance, and we're sure we will have more to share in the future. So there you go. A lot of people saying that, you know, they only do it on usage rates to have a more definitive answer. Now, obviously it's going to feel like usage rates because, you know, if one weapon is being used significantly more than others, then it's probably going to be adjusted in some way. And that's probably the right way to do that, right? You wouldn't want just one weapon to be the best for all time, right? Like you don't want Graviton Lance to be the meta from now until 10 years from now, right? You want to take it down and adjust things and have pulse rifles be the meta for a period of time, hand cannons, auto rifles even at times, scout rifles maybe, who knows what, like give everything a little bit of time in the sun, right? Iron Banner, we have Long Live Salad Fingers if you want another chance at getting this emblem. Got Fortress coming out soon, be ready for that. We've got 1 fish, 2 fish, exotic fish, in fish. They've got this in set that they're selling here if you're interested in those on the Bungie store. And then we have Witherhoard or not Witherhoard, which is we took a community vote on which exotic would get a new ornament, and the Witherhoard won. And so this is going to be the next stage of the voting, is which of these 3 styles do you like more? Myself personally, I'm voting for the one on the left. However, I will say the one in the middle looks pretty cool too, so wouldn't be too surprised if the middle one, but that one on the left looks crazy with the bright glows. Can you imagine the whole entire body of it looking like that? That's wild. Let me know which one you'll be voting for down in the comments below, and this will not come into the game until the final shape, so keep that in mind. It takes them a while to make this stuff. So, and then next up we have the player support report, where they just go through a list of known issues, like for example in the PsyOps Battleground Moon, a lot of people were not getting platinum, and what they're saying is that defeating unstoppable champions too quickly during the intro to the PsyOps Battleground Moon was the reason for that. I don't know if it was entirely that. It seemed like if we just sat back and we allowed the Hive Guardian to spawn in and despawn, it worked better. I don't think it had to do with killing the unstoppables too fast, because I don't even remember killing them that fast particularly, but that's what they're saying it was. So I guess you have to kill them slowly. We'll have to double check this and test this when this comes back around into rotation, but for now that's the workaround to actually get a platinum on that Grandmaster. Next up, they go through the movie of the week, and they go through the artist of the week. Pretty cool Eris Morn art there. And that's a wrap on this week's Twid. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about this week's article? And as always, make sure you're subscribed here with notifications on if you want to stay up to date on all the news in Destiny 2. And click on the screen now if you want to watch another video from this channel. Make sure to check out the other video where we talk about the weapon balance tuning past, because that was pretty crazy. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.